Sitting in my bathroom, in my bathtub, I was gonna shave my leg.
So, welcome to another episode of the Unconventional Office. Today with us we have B. B is a local artist, singer, songwriter, and lots more information to get into a bit further. But before we start, B, can you please introduce yourself to those who are watching right now?
Hello, I'm B, as you may figure out by now. Ironically, I am scared of bees, but I don't like my name, which is Brenda, so that's where B came from. I'm a singer, songwriter. I've been writing for around 10 years now, but I decided to actually do something about it over the past year and a bit. And yes, I mean, I released my second single just a month ago, and which is called All You Could Say, which you will hear. And yes, B is a ball of randomness, a very calm person who is always up to something, but always up for good time.
Perfect. And like you said, after 10 years of writing, this is the year you really came out guns blazing with your music. What's the motivator behind this newfound energy this year?
I think the people I surrounded myself with. I'm not saying in the past I didn't surround myself by people who pushed me, but I think as you grow older, you become a bit more selective with the people you surround yourself with. And over time, I realized that music is such a big part of me, that if I don't have people who are going to support that energy, I wouldn't want to be around them as much. It's not really that. It's just I just wanted to push myself out there, and because it's me, really. And yes, over the last couple of years, I really found people who were like, Bran, well, why haven't you released anything yet? And I told them I have no idea, to be honest. Until one of my friends, Adam, actually had told me, Bran, just come over, let's work on something. And that was like the first proper push. And I thank
And
him
I
for
mean,
that.
like the people you surround yourself with are part of the creative process, no?
Yes, definitely.
And your creative process has changed a lot. I mean, from doing covers of the Lumineers in 2013 to releasing the music you do now. How did you see like your music taste change and even the music around in the local scene in the past like 10, 11 years?
Okay, so my own music process completely changed. When I was younger, I was obsessed over acoustic covers, and I threw myself in this box of just this acoustic sound, and I loved it. Like, I don't know, I would find like a pop song and I'd just go on YouTube and search for a acoustic cover of it. I just love that. So that's where all the covers started off, and then I learned guitar for a bit, but once things got a bit harder, I stopped playing guitar. And then I discovered the ukulele, which was a big part of my musical process, actually, because obviously the ukulele was easier to play on because it's smaller, and it helped with my songwriting a lot. So I'd start finding melodies, and helped a lot with my songwriting. But yes, so it completely evolved. I mean, it was this whole acoustic sound, and then around 2 years ago, I also joined the band, Paris Istanbul, which also helped push me out of my comfort zone and get out of this little box I threw myself in. So yes, I still feel like I'm on this musical journey. I only just started, right? So I don't think I can even properly define myself as an artist at this point, because I'm still figuring it out. And when it comes to the local scene here as well, I think over the last couple of years, people have become more creative. Also, with like Maltese songs are coming back to life. You know, I think back a couple of years back, not that I didn't appreciate Maltese songs, but you know, it was just the same old. And now we just have some really nice Maltese pop songs as well, which is really nice to hear. So yes, I feel we're on the right track, and we're slowly promoting and supporting each other more. So that definitely helps.
Very nice. And it seems like, as in Malta especially, that we're coming out of our shell post-pandemic and everyone's releasing new music they may have worked on the past 2 years. Like most creative minds, I think it affected everyone, the pandemic, in terms of like motivation and even creativity. Did it affect you at all throughout your creative process?
Well, the pandemic kind of hit me a bit bad because I ended up unemployed for a couple of months. And during that time, initially when I was unemployed, I was like, great, I'm just going to focus on music. Now I have nothing to do, so I'm going to make so much music. But my motivation was just not there, to be honest. I wrote a couple of things, but I just wasn't in the right state of mind for it. So I don't think much came out of the pandemic for me. It was more after the pandemic where I just found my motivation again.
As opposed to now where you're like guns blazing, 100%
Yes,
energy.
yes, yes.
And what's your creative process? Walk me through it. How do you get from thoughts and melodies in your head to the actual song released on YouTube and Spotify?
Well, I think it's mainly what's going on in my life. I'm very inspired by the people I'm surrounded with, the experiences I go through with these people, the experiences my friends or the people I surround myself are going through. It's mainly that, and it could, I don't know, I might be having a sad day, and I literally just go in my room, I grab my ukulele, I start playing a couple of chords, I get a melody going, and I literally just vent out what's on my mind. And obviously, with my ukulele, that's only the start, right? Because then just going to stay strumming the same chords on your ukulele. You can't really do much. You can't start something, but that's just the basis of it, and then get myself to a studio and turn it into something bigger.
Very nice. And I have a confession to tell you. From the moment I heard your latest single, I couldn't stop playing it. I don't know what it's about, if it's the music video or the instrumental or the vocals, but it just it hits right. So what do you think is the key to writing a bop, to writing a good like catchy song that you want to hear all day?
It's tough because
The secret sauce, you know?
I mean, it's a bit tough because okay, maybe for you that's actually hit somewhere, but I don't think there's any secret recipe because music hits everyone differently, right? And it might also be the lyrics in the song that I don't know if I'm writing about a breakup, let's say, and you're going through a breakup, you might listen to my song and be like, it hit something. So it's hard to pinpoint something, but I think the most important thing is to just not try copy any other artist. Just find your true self and write what's true to you and what you feel is good. It's good to get inspired by other artists, but not try be someone you're not.
It's all about authenticity, you know? As in,
Exactly.
of course.
And I think once you start finding that inner self, it just happens.
And then I imagine the support and the feedback helps out in the creative process, no?
Definitely.
In fact, in your most recent single, a particular comment, someone from Russia said that they've been following you since 2019 and they can't wait for you to get as big as Billie Eilish. How do you, what's your first reaction, first of all, and how do you react to that going
That
forward?
was actually one of the nicest messages I've ever received because I didn't know people listen to my music from Russia. So that's quite nice. But yes, these things kind of push you more, you know, when you have people who are actually following you and following your journey. It's like, I mean, at the end of the day, I make music for myself. And I think that's very important, that you make music for yourself and not for anyone else. So the fact that someone can support that and relate to it somehow and send such a message, which is like of such motivation, is such a nice thing.
Okay, so I'm jumping onto fashion now. Evidently, you have a very cool sense of style. I imagine you enjoy fashion, no? I mean,
Very much.
and in your latest video, particularly, we've seen everything from Crocs and socks to Winnie the Pooh sweaters. How do you think like fashion and music come together, and how much do you attribute it as part of your brand?
I think it's very important, as in you literally create your own brand, and I mean, everyone's different, right? I mean, I can't tell another artist like wear Crocs or whatever to like stick out more or be different, you know, like you can have your own music video and just be wearing a plain white t-shirt and jeans and still make it work. Everyone has their own style. So to me, I think it helps when you have some kind of style, but it's not everything. I wear what I wear because I express myself through my clothes. Like, I love Crocs. I love Crocs so much. People think they're ugly. I don't care. They're so comfortable. Recently, I started going to parties in Crocs. I just love them.
Number one party tip: go on Crocs.
Yes. So yes, it helps, I guess, but it's not everything. It's just the most important thing, as I said, just be yourself, and it's
True,
That's
and
what
that's
it's
that's actually a really good segue into our final question. I mean, going forward, when someone asks me who is B, I'll tell them she's an artist who's really bold and unapologetic in her style. And I'm sure there are a lot of artists who they're afraid of taking the jump because they're in fear of being judged or being shunned because they express themselves as they enjoy. What's your message to those people who haven't yet taken the leap in fear of being judged?
just stop thinking. Just stop. I think it's so easy to end up overthinking every little step you make because it can be a bit scary when you throw yourself out there for people to judge you and make their own opinions. But I think when you stop caring and you stop thinking, it's like such a beautiful moment. I used to care a lot about what people think at some point in my life, but you're never going to please everyone, you know? So the most important thing is that you just please yourself with how you look and what you do, and it's yeah.
Amen.
That's pretty much it.
So perfect. That was our episode of the Unconventional Office with B. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Unconventional Office. This project is supported by Arts Council Malta and the Insynk Collective and is in media partnership with Malta Daily. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, and we'll see you next time. Yay! Tajjeb, miss tajjeb. Le, bro, mux obvju, għedin hawn.
What could be your reasons? What could I ever do? Never know who's leaving, don't always find a clue. You know I love the teasing, don't play me like a fool. I don't do mind reading, don't mind reading text from you. I don't know, but I know. I don't know, but I know. Oh, I don't know, well I know. I don't know.